Around here, there's a bunch of crooks around here.
You ain't supposed to be in that jail, boy. Get out of there, man.
No, that's a total no, man. VAT coming.
Is my salary going up?
Bahamian people gotta wake up.
This is my 5 cents and I approve this message.
The Deputy Prime Minister calls the U.S. State Department's report unfair. The Democratic National Alliance tells the Prime Minister to get his act together. The country's conviction rate improves, and Atlantis teams up with the Marriott Hotel. We've got those stories and more coming up tonight. I'm Dana Smith, and MB12 starts now. Topping news tonight, Deputy Prime Minister Philip "Brave" Davis has taken grave exception to that new U.S. report, which has raised the alarm on a lack of transparency and undue government interference in the awarding of contracts in the Bahamas. Davis strongly denied those claims and said it is unfair and unfortunate the United States government would even print such statements without determining whether there is any ring of truth. Monique Toot reports.
And Minister of Works Philip "Brave" Davis has denied knowledge of any interference by the government in the awarding of contracts and suggested today that the U.S. government should have checked its facts before releasing the controversial report. In its latest investment climate report on the Bahamas, the U.S. State Department said the U.S. Embassy in Nassau has received several complaints from U.S. companies alleging a lack of transparency and undue government interference with the bidding and procurement process. However, Davis says it is both unfair and unfortunate that these statements were printed without U.S. officials verifying that information with the Bahamas government.
If someone comes to me and says, look, I have a complaint about the manner in which I was treated, the very least you would expect is that one would look into whether the statements could be verified. And so it's unfortunate that we could print, the amount of allegations that are said about any number of persons, we could always print them. But is it fair to do that without testing those allegations to see whether there's any ring of truth?
Davis says he also has no knowledge of undue government interference.
I'm not aware of any interference by the government of any contract. I'm not aware of any. Persons who are bidding for a contract, right, they're in a competitive arena. Right? And they all jostle. They all jostle and they lobby. And if in their lobbying exercise or if in their cajoling exercise, there appear to be no response to them directly on it, because in my view it will compromise the exercise. They go away disappointed.
The Works Minister also took issue with claims that there is a lack of transparency. The Investment Climate Report also stated that although the Bahamas government advertises a market environment where transparency, fair play, and equality of treatment are protected under the law, it fails to back this up with legislation governing competition policy, antitrust policy, and government procurement. However, Davis disagrees.
We are quite transparent in what we do. And as in everything else, there are protocols in the manner in which we do things. The fact that I may not tell you at each step of the process, or the fact that I don't reveal to you the names of the parties involved, is that what you mean by being lack of transparent? Or is it transparent because I'm doing a deal on the side with somebody? What does it mean? What does it mean?
Prime Minister Perry Christie responded to U.S. criticisms on Tuesday, but did not address their concerns over contracts. Reporting for NB12, I'm Monique Toot.
DNA leader Brandville McCartney today saying this latest report is a warning to the Prime Minister to get his act together. Simone Davis has the story.
DNA leader Granville McCartney said in a press conference this morning that the Christie administration is setting a bad reputation for the Bahamas and that it's a shame that the U.S. had to step in and warn the Bahamian government to shape up.
The United States has sent a message to the Bahamas. Get your act together. We as a people, we voted this government in, and so the PLP is really running amok in this country.
McCartney said that the PLP government is strictly based on broken campaign promises. He also said that the Bahamas may be seen as corrupt by other countries, this at a time when the Bahamas is in need of foreign investors.
They spoke about this particular administration's failure to fulfill its promises in the last campaign, and indeed the lack of transparency and accountability resulting in lack of investors' confidence at a time when this country needs foreign investors, at a time when this country is going through pure hell in terms of its economy. The PLP government has done it again. They've embarrassed us internationally.
DNA Deputy Leader Chris Mortimer spoke on the importance of good governance and what they call the PLP's lack thereof. He said that the government is long on promises and short on deliverance. He said it's a slap in the face of the people and a slap in the face of the standard of good governance.
Good governance has to start, and it has to start at the top. It starts with those persons elected to lead our country to prosperity. However, members of Parliament have willfully breached the rule of law as it relates to public disclosure, and yet they expect the average Bahamian to abide by the law. If members of Parliament can carelessly break the law on disclosure, they do not deserve to sit in the House of Assembly.
McCartney also said that the United States is worried about the Bahamian government because what is good for the Bahamas is good for the U.S.
We've gone astray. No leadership, no vision. And the United States knows that, look, we are a country with a lot of potential. A lot of potential. But yet, the leaders of this country are just letting it go to naught. Mr. Christie cannot lead. Bottom line. Has nothing to do with criticism. He cannot lead. That's evident.
Reporting for NB12, I'm Simone Davis.
In other news, Atlantis-Paradise Island is joining the Marriott International Hotel portfolio. It was announced today that in the fall, the resort will become part of Marriott's autograph collection of independent lifestyle hotels across the world. Executives say the new partnership could see a 20% boost. Our Jasmine Brown has more in this report.
A major announcement being made here at the Atlantis Resort this morning after officials revealed they'll be joining up with one of the largest hotel brands in the world.
This could be the most significant tourism stimulus for the Bahamas in this decade.
It's the biggest news in tourism to emerge in the Caribbean for a very long time.
This is a very exciting time for us. We launched the Autograph Collection as a new brand for Marriott International in 2010. It was a different concept for us, and I can say when we did that, we had this property exactly in mind. This is a realization of something we've been working at for a long time, so we're very excited about it.
George, it's a thrill to add Atlantis-Paradise Island to the Autograph Collection and part of the Marriott family. As Rick mentioned, the Autograph Collection has had a spectacular launch since 2010.
Just about everyone involved is describing it as a win for both the resort and the Bahamas. Under the new partnership, Atlantis will operate under a long-term franchise agreement with Marriott, providing a $100 million mezzanine loan to the project. Mezzanine financing is basically debt capital that gives the lender the rights to convert to an ownership or equity interest in the company if the loan is not paid back in time and in full. Atlantis President and Managing Director George Marcantonis said they've been working for the past year on this agreement.
What this means is that in this excellent global marketing partnership that we're going to have, we will benefit from Marriott's global sales and distribution systems and its reservations organization.
In addition, Atlantis will be listed as a part of Marriott's Autograph Collection and exposed to 45 million Marriott members across the world. Marriott Executive Vice President of Mergers and Acquisitions Rick Hoffman says Atlantis will be the largest hotel in Marriott's collection.
Atlantis will be the largest property in any brand in the world for Marriott International. We have, Dave, I think over 4,000 hotels now, and this will be the biggest.
Meantime, Atlantis officials say they are currently working on a 5-year development plan.
Tourism in general in any major destination is an evolutionary process. It's as simple as that. And you have to keep working at it. Business doesn't just show up.
Now, Atlantis will continue to maintain its world-renowned brand, according to officials. This is the second major announcement by Atlantis in just 2 days. Yesterday, Atlantis owners Brookfield Assessment Management announced Atlantis had successfully restructured its multi-billion-dollar debt. Reporting for NB12, I'm Jasmine Brown.